I decided to get a second opinion.
Is there a point? I thought all your scans came back clear.
Zaryf pointed out that there are some alternative treatments that I can explore.
Means what? You're going to seek treatment?
Zaryf, you're right. I was afraid of disappointment. That's why I didn't go for any further treatment.
Great. I'll text you with the details of all the appointments that I made for you.
But if I do this, I would like to go at my own pace. That means reading up on the material you give me before I decide to do this.
Yes, you better not stress her anymore. You understand?
Good on you for taking the first step. Just remember, you're not alone.
I'm telling you, Kenster is the perfect fit for Mabel Lee's company, Brainy Achievers.
Isn't that a tuition agency? Yeah, I considered them for Nikki one time, but way overpriced.
Exactly. They're flush with cash. And they are branching out into edutainment. She has already invested in several startups.
Money, money, money. That's all everybody cares about these days.
FYI, Nina, money is what pays for this roof over your head.
Trust me, when the planet is destroyed, having a roof isn't going to make a difference.
Well, Brainy Achievers isn't in it just for the money. Mabel Lee only agreed to the meeting because of Rutensia. And the idea of empowering kids with special needs resonated with her.
Well, I suppose buying Kenster will have a smaller carbon footprint than opening another tuition center. So I guess I approve.
Let's see how my meeting with Ella goes later. I might find a little space for them in Lux to showcase their brand.
All those years, all that empty talk about you and Ella setting up your little fashion business. Congratulations, you've come full circle.
I'm just letting you know in case you were thinking of dropping by.
Noted, thanks. I guess I'll be having my 10 a.m. in the office instead then.
I don't have any plans today.
As if you ever have any plans.
Maybe I could come down to your shop later.
Whatever for? I don't have the time to entertain you. Look, why don't you go and hang out with your good friend and eat Tao Hui if you're so bored?
Fine, I'll just catch up on my reading.
Well, when Richard's book gets published, you can add one more title to your reading list. Aren't you all curious about what's in it? I heard his reading was quite well received at Lux.
Yes, so much so that I tuned out while he was reading.
Wonder if he mentioned anything about his involvement in the organ trafficking.
All I can say is this. If there's the slightest hint of libel in that self-indulgent drivel, I'll sue his pants off. He can put his newly acquired law degree to good use.
I'm full.
You've barely eaten. I thought we were living together.
Not anymore.
You had something for me, Dr. Ramesh?
Have a seat.
I must say, all the time I spent assisting doctors with research for journal submissions was really helpful. But I'm looking forward to getting back in the OT.
Do you know exactly where you went wrong with Kevin and Judy?
Of course. I've definitely learned from my mistake.
Unfortunately, this is all sounding quite like lip service to me, Dr. Zaryf.
I can assure you, Dr. Ramesh, it's not. I willingly accepted your decision to take me off the surgical roster.
Well, you didn't really have a choice now, did you?
Then tell me what I can do to prove it to you, Dr. Ramesh.
How do I feel? Like that, lor. Of course, I don't really trust that Jessica, but what to do? She has connections, and she can really be of help to Ella's new business.
Well, rest assured that once KSUH gets involved, we're not going to let Jessica do anything that's not in the best interest of the business.
Thank you.
I apologize on behalf of my family. We Shelleys love to rub our noses in places where they don't belong.
Besmirching the family name again, are we?
Case in point, my father, Derek Shelley.
I came to follow up on your plans after our last discussion. I read this great article about cash management best practices for SMEs. I'll send it to you.
Hiya, Derek, I got no time to talk to you about all this. I have got to serve my customers.
Exactly, Dad. She has a business to run. So why don't you go and catch up your wife instead?
She's meeting Ella and that boy, isn't she? You know what? Maybe I'll go and sit in.
Dad?
I was thinking maybe just a rack or two.
Maybe a small stand here with a sign?
Isn't this exciting, Ella? Remember all those years ago, we used to talk about having our own fashion brand?
We should make sure to use natural materials as well.
I was going to do it with or without you. We should also include a write-up about the weavers and the story behind the brand.
Yeah, good idea. How's the meeting going? Making good progress?
We were just brainstorming ideas for the layout.
You know, I've got quite the design eye myself. I came up with the idea to renovate the house all by myself. What have you got so far?
It's really simple, actually.
But we have everything we need. Meeting's over. Let's go, Avery.
What did I say? Stay away from Lux. Was that so difficult?
It was a really good meeting. We chatted for hours about the types of games we enjoyed, strategies to best engage kids, about Kenster's plans for the future.
That's it?
What do you mean? Overall, I have a really positive feeling about it, and I want...
What was the conclusion?
Well, Mabel said that she had to go off for another meeting. I told her we'll catch up sometime, and she left.
Catch up? Kenneth, where was your call to action? You're looking for a buyer, not a date.
We had a good vibe going. I didn't want to make it awkward by talking about that stuff.
That's the whole point of the meeting. Okay, you need to email her right now and be very clear about your intentions and really pitch it.
Okay, I'll try.
Don't try. Be assertive. Tell her if she is confident in Kenster's prospects, you want to meet up her to discuss the next step. Really sell what's in it for her. Do you want to take this down?
Yeah.
He asked you to write a report,
Exactly. What is this? Primary school?
but haven't you already apologized for your mistake?
Of course. I apologized to Dr. Ramesh multiple times. I just don't know what more he wants.
Could it be that Dr. Ramesh might not be the person you need to be apologizing to?
Huh? I better get to my rounds. So how's your posting in Boston?
It was great, man. Boston's...
Dr. Zaryf, we were just talking about you.
I'm sure you remember Dr. Ashraf.
I thought you were in Boston.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Has it been a year already?
I know, right? It's good to see you again, Zaryf.
And this is even worse. You know what she told me? Now that Dr. Ashraf is back, at least we finally have some eye candy around here. It's like...
What's the big deal with Ashraf anyways? So his father's a famous surgeon. Big deal.
Well, he was the first Singaporean ever selected to go to the top surgical hospital in Boston, so...
I bet his father helped him pull some strings.
Zaryf! Go easy on us, Jenny, will you? Is this man bothering you, ma'am? Is it okay if I steal him for a bit? Have you eaten? Come on, I bought snacks for all the surgical residents today.
Wow, that's very generous of you, Dr. Ashraf.
All right, I get it. Tomorrow will be the nurse's turn, okay?
If you say so.
I don't get why you're so upset. He just wants to help.
Derek Shelley never just wants to help.
Whatever it is, you can't argue that he knows what he's doing when it comes to business.
That just shows how little you know about him.
I don't understand why you can't just be a little more open-minded about this.
Of all people, I thought Derek Shelley would know better than to rub his nose in my business. Or have you forgotten?
No, of course I remember. You told me that he rejected you the moment that he woke up from his coma.
It's not just about that, okay? Even when he thought I was his real daughter, he never gave a crap about me. Or showed any interest in what I was doing. Why would he bother now?
It was basically the #1 hospital in the US for robotic and laparoscopic surgery, so I got to assist on some pretty amazing procedures. And it wasn't just the procedures, but the surgeons I was working with. They were all published in the top medical journals. It was like surgical rock stars, left, right, and center. That's not to say that here at GFPH, I'm not also surrounded by rock stars like Dr. Chan and Dr. Ramesh.
Hey, nice save, Ashraf.
You all right, bro? Seem kind of quiet today.
I'm fine. Zaryf is probably still reflecting on his conversation with Dr. Ramesh earlier this morning.
Well, that's too bad that he's not here because he's in surgery. Can't enjoy all this great food. Zaryf, you have to help me thank your mom, man. Pandan gula Melaka cake, Sedap.
I'll be sure to do that. So, Ashraf, tell us more about the robotic gastric fundoplication you mentioned earlier.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah, of course.
You sure?
Yeah. Aren't you rushing off somewhere?
I'm just heading for a meeting.
Don't worry about me, I'm fine.
Did Mabel reply yet?
We'll talk later, okay?
I remember how surprised I was to see you here on the first day we all came back here as residents. Back in med school, you were always so stressed out at the surgical electives.
Well, I guess I turned out to be pretty good at it.
Well, I trust you've been enjoying your break from surgery. I'm probably gonna need a break soon too, man. Ramesh has me rostered for back-to-back procedures every single day.
My break has been spent doing paperwork, so it's not really much of a break.
Well, it's a good opportunity to write up on some cool cases, get published. Right, I forgot. Writing up clinical research isn't exactly your strong suit, is it?
Yeah, not everyone can win the book prize for best research 3 years in a row.
Actually, it was 4.
Good, you're both here. Have you spoken to Dr. Zaryf yet about getting his help with the research on Mr. Tong's cholecystectomy?
Right, almost slipped my mind. You're all right with that, right, Dr. Zaryf?
Yeah, happy to help. I've assisted Dr. Chan with quite a few gallbladder surgeries in the past, so it's right up my alley.
You just came down from upstairs, right? How's Ella's meeting? When came down, she didn't seem very happy.
It was fine.
If you say so.
I don't get you. Don't you care about how Yoke feels when Richard's book is published?
Excuse me. If I recall, you were the genius that brought it up at breakfast and upset your dear wife.
And you are being passive. Why aren't you doing more to make sure the book doesn't see the light of day?
Let me explain this so your simple mind can understand. Have you heard of the Streisand effect? Whatever Richard wants to say in that stupid memo of his is going to come out, regardless of whether the book is going to be published.
Or are you just afraid to confront him just because he made a cuckold of you?
Celia, let me tell you, for all the intellect that my children get from my genes, all of them are absolutely hopeless at picking a proper life partner.
Don't be so harsh. What's the matter?
Ever since that fool Richard turned up at Lux, no thanks to you, I might add, he's become Matthew's latest obsession.
Well, everybody deserves a second chance to start fresh, wouldn't you say? Same for you.
That boy Matthew is on thin ice. That's all I'll say.
Be patient with him, Derek. He has much to learn about how our family works.
So now I have to write this report and explain myself all over again. I've already acknowledged my mistake to Dr. Ramesh multiple times. I just don't know what more he wants from me. I'm sorry, I know you were on your way to get Tau Hui and I just ambushed you out of the blue.
It's okay. I mean, I can understand how Judy feels about all this.
You can?
I mean, it got me thinking about the time when Diana wanted to stop chemo. I know, of course, I wanted her to fight, not give up. But at the end of the day, the choice was hers alone to make. And I had to respect that. Hey, there's no right or wrong answer, okay? Whoever has the power makes the call. It applies for all relationships. Husband and wife, doctor and patient, investor, investee.
Anyway, thanks for sharing. I better get back to it.
Yeah.
Hey, Judy, it's Dr. Zaryf here.
I knew something was wrong when you ordered double Tau Hui.
Maybe it was stupid of me to get my hopes up.
Aiya, cannot say like that. Like you said, the meeting was going on very well.
Exactly. I mean, was it my fault to think that she was actually interested to invest in my company?
Aiya, never mind lah. She doesn't want, it's her own loss.
Yeah.
Did Mabel get back to you?
Yeah, she replied his email, say she doesn't want.
Well, what do you say in the email?
Everything Ananya told me to.
I let you talk. Firstly, I only agreed to meet you because I was going to be here to collect some meds for Kevin. Secondly, you have 2 minutes.
I wanted to say how sorry I am.
For what exactly?
I shouldn't have tried to interfere with yours and Kevin's decision to stop treatment. It was unprofessional of me.
It was hard enough for me as his wife to accept it. Hearing all that conflicting advice from you was not helpful at all.
I can see that now. I shouldn't have imposed my own opinions on you and Kevin. I hope you can forgive me.
It's okay. I know it was your own way of showing your care and concern. Kevin and I will always be thankful for that.
I still think you should have worn a suit.
Well, first impressions count, but it's more important to present an authentic version of yourself.
Which is why I asked how you did the pitch, because I know you can come across a little goofy.
But the right investor will see that as a feature, not as a bug.
You don't want to be too goofy as well. You need to come across as professional.
And you can do that by taking charge and really steering the discussion.
But you don't want to be too overbearing. People like to feel like they're in control.
That might put some people off. They'll think you have some kind of attitude.
Most importantly, you really need to sell it during the meeting and not in the follow-up email.
But don't sound too desperate or they will get suspicious.
Just be honest and your passions will shine through.
Wait. So I need to be authentic, but not myself. I need to be in charge, but let them feel like they are in control. And I really need to sell myself, but not sound too desperate.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yep.
This is impossible. I'm never going to get an investor for Kenster.
Not with that attitude, you're not.
Just to let you know, I've also met up with Judy and personally apologized to her for my inappropriate and unprofessional conduct.
Very well. I hope you found this a good exercise in self-reflection.
Definitely, Dr. Ramesh. You have my word that I'll be more mindful in my interactions with patients in the future.
Thank you for coming back. Just to pass me this, Zaryf.
I had some work to do anyway. So, does this mean I'm back to doing surgeries?
Let me think about it. I'll update you tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh.
Hey, not that I'm rushing you or anything, but I just wanted to see where we are on that research.
The cholecystectomy report? It's done. I emailed you like 2 hours ago.
Oh, great.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to review some patient files before tomorrow's rounds. I heard that one of my previous patients, Albert Yeo, has just been warded.
Oh, Albert. Yeah, don't worry about it. I've already ordered a battery of tests and I'll be seeing him for consultation tomorrow. You should head home, bro. You've done enough for today.
It was really sweet of you to stand for Yoki like that. Poor girl. This whole thing about the organ trafficking must bring back so many difficult memories.
Which is why I don't get why Derek's being so passive about it.
If there's one thing I know about Derek Shelley, he likes to be the alpha male in the family.
Should I not have challenged him then?
Far from it. If you didn't stand your ground, he will know he can makan you and you would never be taken seriously.
Yesterday you mentioned something about Richard's book causing trouble to the family. Other than dredging up memories for Yoke, what other trouble were you referring to?
I really shouldn't say.
It would just be between us, I promise. Not even Yoke will know.
Tell you what, let me see what I can find out from Richard first, and if he confirms my suspicions, then I'll be sure to update you. You know, it's really such a relief to be able to trust someone in the family and to discuss these things with them.
Likewise.
I thought you left in the evening.
I came back to hand in Dr. Ramesh's report, and I thought I'd catch up on the patients so I can hit the ground running tomorrow.
You better not push yourself so hard. You should go home and rest.
The last thing I need is for Dr. Ramesh to think I've been slacking off.
Sorry, I'm just so distracted today.
You want to talk about it?
What was the reason you wanted to invest in Kenster Studios all those years ago?
He's feeling a little discouraged, huh? Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, he's been meeting with prospective investors, but so far the meetings have been going nowhere, really.
Kenneth is a nice guy, but, you know, I have to admit, it's his association with you and his family situation at the time that definitely played a role. And
So you hired him on account of me, or out of pity?
I also went for it because Yoke vouched for him. And it made financial sense. The mobile gaming industry was seeing some serious growth back then.
Right, so just a little pity then.
Look, Kenneth is a great guy. But if I'm being completely honest, it was more a bet on the industry than the individual.
That's what I was afraid of.
Where are you going?
I'm heading back to the hospital. I'll see you, Ibu.
But I thought you just came back.
I just came back for a quick shower.
Why not sleep properly and continue tomorrow, especially when you have a headache?
Don't worry, Ibu. I have lots to catch up on.
Don't worry, Dad. I'm sure it's a matter of time before we find a buyer for the company.
Thanks, Nina.
Hi.
Hey. And if that Mabel Lee doesn't see what an amazing opportunity she missed out on, then maybe she should change the name of her company to Brainless Achievers instead. You're funny, you're passionate, and you know your stuff. You do you, okay, Dad? Anyone would be a fool not to invest in you.
You know, I'm really glad we didn't send Nikki to Brainless Achievers back in the day.
So, how did your meeting with James go? Does he have any useful advice for me?
Nothing your daughter hasn't already told you.
Seems like a grumpy old man, but inside, it's not that bad.
He also wanted to help us with sutrinium, but Ella wasn't keen.
I understand why. Things between the two of them a bit complicated. I was surprised when she accepted Jessica's help.
There's something in it for Jessica too. If the brand takes off, she also benefits.
But it took such a long time for Ella to move on after the way those Shellys treated her. I just hope,
What are you guys talking about?
Tao Hui, you want? Don't worry, we have time before our meeting with Jessica.
Thank you.